Hello, welcome to Talent Vibes. Let's talk it out, an OCBS initiative. I'm Deepa, your host for the show, and I'm excited to present this podcast, which would revolve around corporate professionals. We would invite industry professionals, industry leaders across domains who would express their challenges, accomplishments, and views on latest trends in the industry. This is going to be an amazing experience to listen to their journey and their takeaways. I'm sure each one of you would enjoy this time with Talent Vibes. Today, we have invited Priyanka Gurav. She is an HR professional. Priyanka holds an MBA in Human Resources and MA in Economics from Pune University, with certifications in psychometric tools like DISC and Predictive Index. Her career journey spans over 14 years, starting in the e-learning and content creation, followed by a remarkable 11-year stint in the VFX sector. During this time, she established herself as a leader known for her strong decision-making, people-first approach, and ability to manage the complete employee life cycle. Currently, Priyanka serves as the Assistant Vice President of HR at Cloy, a global tech startup redefining logistics solutions through machine learning and AI. Here, she oversees HR operations on a global scale, driving innovation and collaboration across multiple geographies. Beyond her professional achievements, she is a vocal advocate for empowering women and breaking barriers. She was recently invited to speak at a panel discussion celebrating women pioneers in the AVGC industry, where her passion for leadership and inclusivity shone through. Please join me in welcoming Priyanka Gurav, a true pioneer and a leader who continues to inspire through her work and vision. We are privileged, I'm honored. So let's welcome Priyanka with her small gift. This is a
Thank you
token
so
of
much.
love. Like this. Also, Priyanka, there is a special gift for you. This is from City Mali Gardening Solutions Private Limited.
Thank you. It looks beautiful. Very fresh.
So this is a Pune-based firm basically, and they are into gardening services, gardening maintenance basically. They rent out plants, and also they are into corporate gifting. So if you need
Lovely.
anything, you can definitely avail these services. I've used these services personally at my home. So if any of the viewers they are interested to avail the services, details are given on the screen.
Great. Thank you.
So let's start the discussion, Priyanka.
Yes.
Okay, so we will start with your career journey. There would be 5 segments in the podcast. So first segment would revolve around your early career.
Okay.
So we would like to know, how did you get started? What have been your milestones and how did you achieve them?
First of all, I would like to thank you, Deepa, for inviting me here. I'm really excited to be part of this conversation today. To talk about my early career journey, I would take all of you to the place where I belong to. I belong from a small village in Konkan. I was, completing my BA in economics. I was always interested in economics. I wanted to pursue my career into economics.
Okay.
HR has come all together because in early college days, I have been always part of getting into solving the problems within the friends, coming up with a lot of different brainstorming ideas. If at all there's a project been put in to all of us, I would always brainstorm together, okay, how do we come out of this, or how do we achieve whatever the expectations are.
Right.
I always like or love to have a good people connection, good bonding with the people.
Mhm.
And I think that's where altogether it all started to have that kind of urge to get into the HR field. So at those early days, I think MBA was first thing that was coming. it was quite new. It was quite, new and very interesting at that moment. And trust me, I was going through a newspaper. There was, a cutout into that, whereas it was talking about MBA and how, the MBA was making noise altogether in the
Right.
market at that moment. And for that, I visited Pune, and MBA was continuously getting that hype altogether in the market. So I was like, okay, let's go and see
Right.
how it is. I got a chance to visit MIT College of Management, which is in Kothrood.
Right.
So then I got into the concept of HR because it was very new and very fresh at that moment, which nobody was aware. You won't believe, but I have taken the admission for both at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, and I have got into the MBA full time, but I never wanted to leave my interest in economics as well. So I have taken the external admission for MA Economics from Pune University.
Oh.
So I was pursuing both at the same time.
Same time.
After my MBA completion, I have joined a company which was into e-learning and content development. That was my very first job. I have joined there as a junior executive HR, and I was handling complete journalist role over there. I have been fortunate enough to get the managers in my very first job who were coming from the army background, from the navy background. They have both the managers of mine have been disciplined, very much valued, dedicated, and very much focused, and very strict and disciplined about the work. So I could not just get a chance to have that casual attitude towards the work since the beginning of my career, because I've always been, monitored or mentored by these people, and it has actually helped me to get those values at a very start of my career. Otherwise, today we see how people come from college and they have such a casual attitude, to work. I was very much serious because I had no choice. So that has been, I worked there for 3 years almost. Then I got married. Then I have joined a company which is into VFX industry, which has been a turning point in my career because the industry was completely new for me.
Again, yes.
But then, yeah, it has actually helped me a lot in terms of building the complete experience in the employee life cycle management. The company name is AnyBrain, where I've worked for longest in my career. And it has been a breathtaking journey for me in terms of lot of up and downs, lot of, roller coaster ride. But it has been a wonderful and fantastic journey that I can say.
Great.
Post that, again, I've joined another VFX company, which was into the same field, company based out of Chennai, where I was taken a role of head of HR directly. So previously, when I left AnyBrain, I was a senior manager. Then I have been hired as a head of HR in the Chennai-based VFX company. Post which I've worked there for two years almost. Post which I've joined a company recently, which is Kloy, and I'm working there as assistant vice president, where I'm handling the complete global, HR gamut and HR operations for the company. So it has been 3 industries differently for me.
Okay.
I have also have still that interest in the economics, where I keep on reading the books. Books reading is one of my hobby, and I like to get to know what's happening in the industry altogether. So that has been my journey so far. Something I've really learned into it is, very small 2 to 3 things that takes us to get into this field is, I think, actively listening about what people are saying,
Right.
giving that clarity about, okay, what exactly we are doing, what exactly we are here, and fostering that good people connection. I think that is something has been built, to get into this role or this HR's thing so far to me.
Great.
That's what I can say about
Great.
me.
So it was an amazing journey, I must say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Would you like to share any memorable experience, something that probably shaped your professional path?
Sure, absolutely. So the journey of HR has been a perfect blend of love for communication as well as creating the meaningful connections. So even as a student, I have been always participated in the English allocation competition, in spite being a Marathi medium student always. So, but then pushing myself beyond beyond the comfort zone has always been my challenge. That okay, I have to do something which I have not done earlier. So that ways I have always been nominated by my college teachers to go ahead and present the inter-college competition in the English, whereas it was not my medium to start with from the childhood. But I have done that, and it has actually helped me to understand how much I enjoy to get out of my comfort zone and do something which is challenging. So I would like to share one experience in my early stages of the career. So I was into a maternity break when I rejoined the company, and we all understand, how the 6 months have been. Whereas somebody like me who has been very workaholic as well as the career oriented,
Right.
so for me, sitting at home for 6 months or taking that break, which has been precious, absolutely, but has also been very challenging because I've never sat, not doing anything, not using my brain, or not working on anything. So it has been little challenging for me to restart again my journey, my career,
Right.
little less on a confidence when I rejoined actually. But then there was one incident I would like to tell you is a company was hosting an annual event when I rejoined at that time. Whereas the complete event was planned very well. We had the professional MC to take over the stage to have the complete end-to-end event managed. However, there's always different. There is always a need of somebody from the company, from the HR who is a senior in the HR, has to address the opening note, which has been little personalized,
Right.
because the MC is going to be the external person, but somebody from the company addresses, that makes a difference. So that way, it was our HR head who was supposed to do that at that moment, but due to some emergency, the responsibility fell on me at the very last moment. Okay, I could have only 10-15 minutes at the backstage where I got to know that I have to address it.
Such
and
a short span.
such a short span, and I was not able to understand. My brain was like, okay, what I need to do, what I need to speak about, because it had a lot of meaningful presence to be there, because it was just starting the event and everybody was excited and I was not at all prepared. But I think that quality of me were pushing myself beyond the comfort zone and taking it as a challenge, that really helped me to get away through this overall scenario at that moment. So when I went on a stage, I found myself in front of 700 people approximately. That was the head count that we had at that moment. And completely coming back after the maternity break, little less on a confidence. But then as I started speaking, from the crowd, there has been a lot of cheer, there has been a lot of whistles and claps, which actually helped me to build that confidence. And I started talking. It was such an natural, it was such an good opening note, I would say, that I have been praised for from the CEO always, with the warm feedback.
Great.
Till the time even I left the company, I was there, he was always giving that example. Okay, I really love your confidence, I really love the way you have taken over the stage and how people have responded.
Right.
So with that overall journey, it has been a big turn for me, because I could get myself putting in the same place where I was before
going for a break.
before going on a maternity break. So I could see that, okay, I can balance both. I can balance my personal commitments as well as the professional commitments, whatever is expected. And that's how it has started getting me that confidence that, okay, I should be getting into that, I should be pulling up my sleeves and getting into the work that I was doing earlier.
Right.
So it was such an amazing journey for me, such an amazing situation for me to get out of that feeling that I had when I rejoined and get started fresh with whatever work. And there has been no look back since then.
Great. So when you speak, it sounds like it is such an easy journey it was, but I'm sure it was not.
Yes.
So now I would like you to speak about the challenges that you must have faced. So you can discuss about some of the major challenges that you faced, and most important is how did you overcome those challenges?
So the very first, when I was talking about the e-learning company where I joined as a HR fresher and junior executive.
Right.
I have luckily got good managers who could embrace those good values in me at the start of the career, which was needed. Coming to the challenges, the first thing was to have your voice as a young professional. Okay, when you are very junior, when you sit in the experienced professional, probably you may have a different point of view, but I was little taken aback. Okay, I should be talking, I should not be talking at that moment, at that junior executive of HR. But then it has helped me throughout to understand, okay, if I have to say, I have to say it, I have to to talk about it, because till the time you cannot communicate, you will not be able to step up in your career. That is something I've really learned into this journey of HR.
So that is our tagline also. Let's speak it out.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking is something that will assumptions, or even I would say for that matter messaging doesn't work the way we want to communicate the feelings that we have.
Right.
So communication is the key, and communication is the power that you have to, if you're on a table, you have to get your seat on a table. The second thing I would like to tell you in terms of the challenges is I was not able to say no to certain things. Okay, that's a very big challenge, and I think a lot of us still struggled for it. Okay, I take up a lot on my plate, but I cannot say no to it.
Right.
I may not be able to do justice to all of it, but a lot of times it happens that I still take on because I do not have an ability to say no.
And then we end up spending a number of hours, completing that, or maybe take that stress that, okay, I have, so much
too much of work on a plate. So that ways I think you will have to prioritize. You will have to like something that worked for me is planning, prioritizing, and see what exactly is needed right now for me to take up, and say humbly, politely no to the additional thing which is eating up your actual productive time. Third thing has been always in terms of reading through people's mind. But a lot of times people actually have a lot of different attitudes or different kind of personalities, which is quite difficult at the start of your career when you get into the HR.
Right.
And trust me, it has been completely different, practical as well as theoretical knowledge.
Right.
And the tools like DISC and Predictive Index, that has been a psychometric test. I've gone through the extensive training of those courses as well.
Okay.
That course has a certain kind of questions, with certain timelines.
Okay.
So it captures at the end of that test, it captures the overall psychometric ability of the person. So it gives me the result, and how do I read that result? That was a training I have attended at that moment. So I could get, if I'm coming for an interview for a say a senior manager or HR manager role, I can see what are the person traits of that person.
I was about to ask this question, that it may help you in recruitment also, right?
Absolutely. It has been in any brain. It has always been a must in recruitment.
Right.
Even if you're hiring junior most person, so CEO has always been believing in terms of having the people with the right attitude.
Oh.
Skills can be taught, but attitude cannot. So that
true.
ways he has always been, I need people with the right attitude in the company.
So Priyanka, for our viewers, if any of them would like to go for this certification, so could you tell us, like in short, from where they can attend this certification?
Yeah, so there are this small companies like DISC and Predictive Index.
Okay.
They have their, like, you will be able to find them easily on Google, their contact details.
Okay.
So it is not a YouTube course or something.
Okay.
You will not get it. Neither I would recommend you to go through it.
So our next segment, Priyanka, is about career growth and development. So I would like to understand, according to you, what are the skills or knowledge? When I say knowledge, I'm talking about mainly domain knowledge of HR.
Yeah.
So what are the skills and what is the domain knowledge requirement for a person to get successful in HR field? Okay.
I'll tell you what it is worked for me in a very natural way. Okay, one thing is to giving a ear to the employees. Active listening about how my journey has been, what are the problems that I have, what are the ground level issues that I'm facing when I'm working. So I think the first thing I would like to tell any HR would is give a proper ear to the people. Don't do it as a task, do it as an active listening. Understand what is the thing and understand putting yourself in their shoes. Then only you will be able to see the solution through it.
Right.
So that has been one of the things for me. The second thing I would tell you is to have, of course, the meaningful connect with the people. Connecting with the people in terms of hearing them out. Not everyone every time leaves for the salary. Okay, people leave for bad managers. People leave for better learning. People leave for the other problems,
so many other reasons.
Issues. So salary is not always the reason. So for me, how do I create that environment within the company where people feel satisfied, well paid, happy about what they are doing, and having that learning thing happening constantly in their career. So that has been one of the things that I think all the HR should always think about, and that can only come. It differs from the company to company, it differs from industry to industry. So the HRs in the company will have to check what will work for their company. So I think it is the analysis to be done, what is needed in my company, and based on that to have your own solutions, and twisted activities or events or processes will help
Right.
any company to shape up really good.
Right. So Priyanka, majorly you discussed about active listening and that connection. We should have that connection with employees. So do you think these are natural traits, or we can acquire them? And if we have to acquire, then what would you suggest? Like if someone, for example, there is someone who is not really a good listener, so what he or she should do to develop this skill?
Patience is the key.
Patience is the key. Or
I
maybe with
feel
time.
yeah, with the
Probably.
time, with the experience, by dealing with people, comfortable feeling I'm giving to the employee that okay, you come to me, I'm there to hear, listen.
Correct.
So that needs a lot of patience, that needs a lot of experience, that needs a actual interest into that. It should not be just a task that I'm doing it.
Priyanka, according to you, how important is it to pursue a degree in HR to make a career in HR? For example, also, when should one go for the degree? Like there could be two ways. For example, someone who is completed the education, pursued MBA, and then joined and started a career as HR. Or there could be an alternative way wherein someone just completes the graduation, joins some organization, takes 2-3 years of experience, and then goes for a MBA course. So what path would you suggest, and how important according to you is the degree for pursuing a career in HR? Because we see there are few professionals who have not even got any degree, but they
Yeah.
are still at HR leaders. So
Yes.
what are
Yes.
your thoughts about it?
Yeah, that's a very nice question, Deepa. So, I myself hold a degree of MBA HR, but then, yeah, if you ask me, as I told you initially, there's a difference in practical knowledge and theoretical knowledge,
Right.
and it's all about dealing with people. So, for me, I don't think so. Having a degree is very important to be in this journey or in this career. You can still do your graduation, your BBA, for that matter, in terms of a basic understanding of labor laws and how the HR framework is there.
Okay.
But then when it comes to dealing with people, having the activities or HR operations, I think it's equally important to have that practical knowledge.
Okay.
So I would suggest, if you are completing BBA is more than enough, graduation is more than enough to get into a job and
Okay.
learn about the processes, the people around you, and how the overall journey works. Because and the business, of course, you have to understand the business when you're into that whatever company you're in. Once you understand this, I think you will be able to relate the dots, and you will be able to work best even with the people.
Right.
So if you're good, maximum having the, like, somebody who is holding good degree in MBA, or for that matter any other relevant equivalent to the MBA, I think these people still need a lot of experience, lot of time to spend to understand the people and the process.
Correct.
And it has been constant change in terms of the labor laws, in terms of the processes, policies that we deal with. So for me, if you ask me, the straight answer will be, of course, it's not very important to have the degree. You can have your graduation and get into the experience.
Okay.
However, there can be, when I say that, there are some of the really good institutes which give specialized training or the courses. If I'm very clear about, if I'm joining, for example, after a BB, I'm joining in HR and I am doing the journalist role.
Right.
However, I develop my interest more into, I have to get into labor laws, or I have to get into the talent management or strategic HR analyst role. Then there are specific courses.
Or
So-
maybe comp and ben also.
comp and ben also, right?
Right.
So this is very interesting, where there are a lot of people who are specialized. Not all of them want to get into all of the sectors or segments of HR, but some of them really want to get into a particular, specialized in a particular segment. So for that, there are a lot of good institutes. XLR is one of them, very known HR institute, where you will get lot of such courses that you can do over the weekends,
Right.
and you can get through a little detailed knowledge about that particular segment.
Great input, Priyanka.
Yeah.
So Priyanka, as an HR professional, I think it is very important to be updated about the latest trends and developments in the industry. So how do you keep yourself updated, and what are the resources that you use for doing that?
Sure. For me, something it always worked in to have a very good, status or very good profile on a social or a job portal for that matter, something like LinkedIn. So, Naukri, after the Naukri, like in LinkedIn has been little more impressive in terms of building a profile and little, next generation, I would say. So that platform provides you to connect with some of the industry leaders, joining some of the groups which are very important and talk about very knowledgeable sessions about industry, about the HR and altogether experience of the people. So even the journeys of the people, a lot of people put in over there. They share their wisdom in terms of how the experience has been for them, which is there can be a lot of key takeaways from those. So for me, that is one of the one of the tool where I stay updated about the market trends. Second thing is all about I go and attend a lot of conferences and group meetings, whereas we all HRs at certain level come together. We talk about we pick in some subject. Like for example, there was a recent conference that I attended. It was all about the role of the AI in HR. Like a lot of changes are happening, a lot of up and down discussions are happening over the AI, which probably would need a separate session to talk about. But yeah, people have that kind of a thing that will the AI take over my job? How it will come and how it will evolve in the industry or in the career of HRs. So it was a very interesting, and we could see a lot of balance and a lot of mixed feedbacks, which has started giving a food for thought to understand how it is there, and how things are being looked at, and how the different perspective from a different industry leaders is coming over. So attending this kind of seminars or conferences actually helps you a lot in terms of, first of all, build connection, stay updated in the industry, in the HR gamut altogether, and have a social connect with the people. Third thing I would like to tell you is all about understanding the employees' feedback. Also, it's very stay close to your employees' feedback. That's also something will give you a lot of updates. A lot of times I've experienced something that is happening, HR gets to know at the very end. And a lot of people already know about it. Okay, this company is doing that, this company is opening up a new office or having this kind of requirements or doing whatever, and we get the information. So some inside information, with a lot of times we get it from the employees. So stay close to your employees. Fourth thing is read through books, read through the overall what's happening. So I think once you have that curiosity to understand and to know, I think it's really going to add to your knowledge to stay updated in the overall industry, I would say. Last, I would say that the overall mantra for this would be, don't think like HR in a business. Think like a businessman in the HR. Okay, how I can make it more work when I am understanding the business. I'm understanding how it will work for me being a good HR when I am kind of making it as a business for me.
So Priyanka, you mentioned about books. So any specific book that you would like to recommend that one should go through, one should read, being a HR professional specifically?
So meanwhile, after some time I'll be talking about OKRs, which is mainly about objective and key result areas. So that OKR is there's a book, Major What Matters. This is something that I'm reading right now, and it will give you the complete it will change will happen, a mind shift will happen to you in terms of how you look at in terms of the objectives and goals. So right now I'm reading that, but yeah, there are a lot of books I read through in terms of building the personality and the leadership qualities. Like I've gone through Atomic Habits, that is one of the book. Then there is also How to Win Your Friends and Family. There is a book like that. How to Win People and Friends. That's the name of the book. That is also very interesting in terms of changing small things in your daily routine, but it will help you to have a very strong communication and influence over people. And I think that's very much needed when you're in HR. So these are some of the books that I've gone through recently that I can talk about.
Great, interesting.
Yeah.
So Priyanka, our next segment would speak more about leadership. since you are at the position where you are a leader yourself. So till now it was more about general HR discussion.
Correct.
Now we would focus more on the leadership traits. So what are the leadership traits that you feel are required to climb the career ladder and to be at that position? So what are those traits that you feel are important?
For me, something I always worked is having the emotional intelligence. Okay, when I am in HR, when I'm dealing with people, emotional intelligence plays major role to have. So there was one interesting session that I've gone through that was talking about 7 chakras. Okay, of any person. So we as a human have the 7 chakras is something that I got to know when I attended that session. So there are the session talked about. There was a person sitting and it comes with that separate portion of each one of the thing that talks about your mind, whereas how the people are been thinking in what chakras they are into. It's a very interesting session. Probably will get to know more about it on YouTube and all. So it has helped me to understand as a leader how I need to talk to the junior most person, how I need to talk to the senior most person in my team. How do I deal with them differently? What chakras, there was a altogether study onto it. Probably we'll need some time to go through it, but then what chakras I need to activate if I have to go to that person and talk to that person and influence over him. So it has helped me to have that emotional intelligence in place while I'm dealing with it, building trust and getting that connect. That is one of the qualities I would like to mention here. The second thing is about visionary thinking. Okay, the leader should always have that vision, drives by a vision that, okay, this is something I really want to achieve. Once you are clear on your goals, clear on your vision, I think it's very easy for you to cascade in your team and set it very rightly with all the team members. So I think that vision is very much important for the person to have the clarity. A lot of times I've seen people come and say, we don't know what exactly he wants. What my manager is saying, what exactly he's asked me to, for example, come back with a report, but I'm not sure how do I make it. So I think that clarity, that vision is something very important for any leader to have.
So it's like you should know the destination before you start traveling, so that you would know, okay, this is the path that I have to travel and then I would reach this destination.
Exactly. Third thing I would say, have empathy, integrity and courage. You should have that genuine care for your people. You cannot fake it. People can see it that you're faking it. You should have that genuine care for your people. You should driven by the empathy that, okay, I do care by my people. I do care about my team. I do care about my company overall. You should be seen in your actions. Then only people will start believing, okay, you're a good leader, and they will follow you as a leader. Okay, you're not portraying yourself as a boss.
So you need to be genuinely
involved with the people, understanding and show that genuine care. So that is one of the things. Courage. Something wrong is happening. I think it is always the leader's role to stand for it, against it, stand for it and make it clear. If there are some injustice happening, I think the voice of that HR or the leader has to be there on place. Then only it will have a discipline and the justice will be there throughout the employees.
Correct.
So I feel these are the qualities. Last thing, strong communication skills. It is, as I mentioned in the beginning, how do I deal with the different people? But how do I communicate well? How do I actively listening? How do I communicate with them very strongly, very firmly? That makes a lot of difference. The way you talk, the way you show the confidence, it also gives that confidence to the person in front of you to understand, okay, I can believe him, I can trust him, I can follow him, I can lead. He is leading by the example.
Correct.
So that's how the traits for me it has been worked.
Great. And I think it's not only for HR leaders. These traits are required across domains.
Yes.
For all the leaders, I think these traits would be required.
Absolutely.
Okay. Next, I would like to ask you about the mentorship experience that you must have experienced. So you can share either of the experience, maybe as a mentor also, or maybe as a mentee, wherein you got to learn many things from your mentor. So any experience that you would like to share?
Sure. Okay, so I have learned from one of my mentors. There's a very good mantra, I would say, that has been taught, that has been learned throughout my journey. A leader is not somebody who has the loudest voice in a room. Okay, boss is somebody who is silent, listens, and empowers the other people also to talk about, and then sums up the conversation in a very polite way. Okay, that is something that shows you are a empathetic leader as well as a strategic person, so that you are creating that importance within the people. Okay, I am valued, I have been heard, I have been given my space to talk about, or given a platform. Of course the decision is going to be yours, but then you are not being a bossy person over there that okay, I'm loud enough in the room and I'm talking about it. No,
just
you are,
listen to me.
yeah, just listen to me. I'm not coming with that attitude. I'm coming with an attitude where I'm balanced. I know what I'm doing. I know I'm giving that platform to the people to talk about it.
Okay.
And then I'm considering everything and coming to a decision, which will give a sense of inclusiveness to all the people that, okay, I am making, I know I have a place in this company. I have something to talk about. I'm being heard. Even that feeling is very important for people. So that has been a good learning for me, and it has helped me to be a strategic as well as the empathetic leader, so that people will look at me like a leader and not as a boss.
Right.
So that has been the experience for me. Mentoring the people I have been to, I'm handling. I think one thing I have never done is micromanagement.
Okay.
I have always been given that freedom. I believe in getting people throw away in the sea and then they themselves will learn to swim, get through it. So I think, okay, but I as a leader always keep a watch how they are doing it. I will just not leave them like that. So that is something will have been always worked, because the recent generation that we work along with, I think they need freedom. They do not like somebody monitoring, watching them constantly. That freedom that allows them to brainstorm, research, and come back with a fresh perspective. Right. So that has always been worked for me.
Okay. So Priyanka, you just now mentioned about the recent generation or Gen Z.
Yes.
So how has been your experience managing Gen Z, both as your workforce as well as your team? So
yes,
what has been your experience? Did you face any challenges, and how is the experience?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question, Deepa, because it has been a roller coaster journey right now. I am a millennial. I come from that generation where we have got into the technology. The first generation to get into the technology was millennials. Okay, so we know the background and we know how the technology works. Now the Gen Zs, they just know about the technology. They don't know anything else that we have gone through, and it has been wonderful. We are fortunate enough, I would say, because we know how it was and how it is right now. So with Gen Zs, the generation has been mainly called quick decision makers. They do not wait. They do not have patience about things. So something like certain things I would like to, because in my current company I've been dealing with the Gen Zs, and it has been a mixed kind of a feedback for me. Okay. But something that will work to work along with them is first thing is you should get them the required technology in place. Okay. They will not work along with some old-fashioned technology. They need something very up to date. Second thing, have a continuous learning. But yeah, in a short span of time. They cannot sit something like we have gone through, 2 days workshop, 3 hours workshop. They do not have that much of patience. Okay. We need to be very focused about certain things. Okay, we have to learn this skill. Okay. That comes with a very short, or it is in parts. They cannot have a span of long time attention to get through the trainings. So this is the second thing I would like to tell about. Third thing is they are driven by the purpose. Okay. Maybe in our times, I remember a lot of times I have done a lot of work which was unproductive, but it was being just given a task by the managers. Okay, you have to do it, you have to keep going the game and all of that. Sometimes it's like, okay, why I'm doing it? Is it really necessary? So I was still doing it because I was of that generation, but this generation won't do it. They will always come back with a sense of purpose. Why I'm doing it? Is it needed for or we are wasting our time? Okay. So you cannot just fool them. You cannot tell them that okay, you have to do it because you're working in my team. You have to get them right purpose in place, what we are doing and why we are doing. Fourth thing is having the inclusiveness. Involve them, include them in lot of decisions, lot of brainstorming ideas, give them a platform to talk about what they think, what is the perspective. And trust me, there has been a lot of different perspective have been come back from these fresh minds. I mean, somebody says the people, as much as lazy they are, they avoid the work, they come back with lot of lot of ideas, or shortcuts which will work and which actually done wonders in some of the cases. So these are the things I feel will work along with the Gen Zs. They are quick decision makers. If at all things are not falling in place, they will not even give it a second thought to leave the company or go ahead for the next opportunities.
Right.
So yeah, that's how my experience has been.
You put it so nicely, Priyanka. Usually we listen to all the complaints from Gen Z, and they don't listen to us, they don't have attention span. But maybe similar points, but the way you put it were very positive, and I think we all should think that way, so that we can manage Gen Z maybe more productively and more efficiently.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next segment is about know how it feels being HR. Okay, so in this, we will start with mental health of HR, because that is the very important topic that
Correct.
I feel is should be discussed in this podcast. So, mental health of HR is something I feel that is not been given much attention, and we end up suffering from a phase, wherein we ourselves are not mentally fit or not mentally stable, because we have to sometimes take some decisions which are not really easy to take. Sometimes we have to even implement those decisions, and it becomes very stressful to handle that phase. I won't say like all days are that difficult, but yes, there are phases wherein we go through that phase, and we are mentally disturbed at times. So did you experience any of such experience, and how did you deal with it basically?
Okay, that's a very important question. Nobody talks about it, to be honest. Like, mental health is altogether been the, very easily ignored topic in all the areas.
Okay.
But in HR, it is quite important, because we deal with people and we deal with a lot of problems, hearing a lot of problems of the people and go through it. So for me, it has been, one experience I would like to share is I have gone through immense layoff. So COVID was one of the big thing that happened altogether to the world, and it has impacted a lot of businesses, small, big, medium-sized, all of them. So I had to lay off a lot of people, and it has been actually put me a lot into a mental depression, I would say, because I have been in this company. I've been with them for a little longer time. I know them, I know their families indirectly, because they talk about it.
And with the connections that
with
you
the
mentioned
connection,
initial,
exactly.
discussion.
So there have been, it was a kind of, always a lot of companies say family, but it was like a family, for me, in terms of knowing them, knowing about their families, their problems, their issues. But then, in spite knowing all of these issues, I had to lay off them in such a difficult situation. But it was important, or it was something not in anybody's hand, but then all the mental pressure and mental thing that I go through, or any HR go through who communicates about layoff, is equally challenging. So as I mentioned, HR is always been looked at a bridge between organization management and the employees. So you have to actually, you're carrying both the baggages from both the sides. Management wants you to represent, and people look at you as you will do something good to them or justice to them. So ideally it is a both side thing that we carry, which not all of people talk about, but it's both the burdens. So that was an experience for me where I have gone through it. It has actually deeply affected me a lot, in terms of people crying in front of me. People are talking about their issues. My father is not well, my father is hospitalized, my wife is pregnant, I have these installments. People are cursing over to me also for that, for some of the cases. Okay, this thing will happen with you also, I mean, you will have to suffer from this, you are collecting a lot of sins. So it has been such a different and difficult journey for me to take it up from somebody who's crying, even to seeing some of the names which are unexpected. It was really I can't talk about that time. But something I think overall what I learned is, throughout, not only that, but altogether about the mental health of HR, I think you have to set boundaries. You have to see, I mean, of course you're listening and all, you're acting as a good listener to them, but you will have to keep away your own baggage at home. Don't carry it at workplaces. You have to be fresh, empty mind to talk, get to know about the people. So have those boundaries. Whenever you're in office, you are fully there. When you're at home, you are dealing with your own problems at home. Have your self-care done. I mean, connect with the nature, go pursue your hobbies, whatever you like. You just disconnect yourself from that particular thing. If it is your office, take a break, go on such vacations, which will help me. So for me, I have the hobby in traveling. I like to explore nature and to keep on traveling. So this is something helped me to come refreshed, with a refreshed mind, to again be ready to listen to 10 other people, or their issues, or deal with the problems altogether. So for me, I think that has been helpful to get away with that mental pressure or a depression I was into. So, but it is very important subject that needs a lot of attention, to be honest, and it has to be talked on in the open platform, that how do we deal with it and how do we come back with more approach or more positive solutions on this.
Right. Okay, and how do you take HR memes, Priyanka?
Oh my
God! Do you love them or hate them?
Okay, no, I love them absolutely.
Okay.
I think there is some attention that HRs are getting through the memes, and I think it's a silent handshake between the HR professionals. I mean, even in the family, okay, people will say, "Oh, you're in HR, you do rangoli at office." I mean, come on, we don't do that.
That is the only thing that we do.
Yeah, we don't do that. But then, people in HR have always been, looked like we don't do anything. Whereas a lot of people do not understand, it's not it's not the case. It is we are the value creators. We do a lot of much more things which probably not seen at a first place, not the front facing, but of very strong support. So I absolutely admire those memes. It keeps me laughing and going, okay, I need to do it reminds me that I need to do my work. Simple.
Even though they say it's only rangoli, we have n number of things.
We have n numbers of things. I remember there was that one meme talking about, I'll get back to you, and HR has not got back to me yet. So it has been like that. But I mean, come on, we know
but
how.
They don't know that most of the times it is someone else who has not got back to us, and that is the reason we have not got back to them.
Absolutely. So very few people understand that, or probably when they get into that position, they understand why and how it happens.
Okay.
However, we being the front facing cannot blame management. We cannot blame anybody else for that matter.
We cannot blame anybody.
We have to take it on us, and we're happy about it because that's our role.
And still keep smiling.
Exactly. Right.
Okay. So Priyanka, it is often said that HR is a cost center. Even in the boardrooms, it has been talked about. Even on the social platforms, it has been discussed that HR is a cost center. So first of all, have you gone through any such experience? And otherwise also, what are your views on it? If you listen to this statement, how do you feel and what are your thoughts?
Okay. This is a very important question, as well as something to talk about, because as it relates to even the previous question, the memes, where the image of the HR has always been, we don't do any work, and that's how it has come to this question also, that this is a cost center.
Right.
So I don't believe in that, whatever says, unless and until it's coming from the CEO, and it will not come from the CEO because that level they understand. Okay, but people at the ground level or a mid level probably will not understand.
Mm-hmm.
HR is not a something that is a cost center. HR is a value creator. HR is somebody who is building cultures in the company, who is evolving your talent. So developing, retaining, evolving the talent, making them ready for the work that you're doing, taking care of the employees, giving them the satisfaction, the job satisfaction that they need. It all cannot be measured. Okay, so that is the reason everybody talks about it. If we at all are able to measure how is my satisfaction level, I think it will still give a lot of confidence and a lot of data to talk about the cost center, and then actually the picture will change. But some things like people's emotions cannot be measured. Okay, and we deal with exactly that. That is the only reason I think it is being looked at like that, but it is not the case. We do much more than what it is being shown, what it is being portrayed at.
Correct.
So yeah, there was an example I would like to tell you on this is, I was into one of the heated conversation with one of the head of the department. Okay, it was been something about appraisals or performance related things. So he has been giving me the feedback about one person, and I have always been avoiding politics, not having the favoritism in the company, and how do I ensure and have the reassurance on the feedback being provided to me. So I always had a different data and data talks something different and a person talks something different.
Okay.
So when I question back, I was being in a response, I've been told that you do not have a technical knowledge. You are just a cost center. You are, the revenue has been generated by us, and it
On your
has
face, you said this.
yeah, and it has actually got me up in terms of my own temper, that okay, how can you say, and at least being at that position. So at that moment, I had to take him through all of this process, that how it happens. I simply got up on from my place. I got into the whiteboard that I had. I've explained him how it works, in that way. And it was a heated argument initially, but it ended up having the collaboration or collaborative approach in terms of having the importance of HR. Just not take it granted that okay, we do not do anything.
Correct.
We are here to make change. We are here to have companies without any politics, no favoritism, job satisfaction, the support that's needed. We are there to have the feelings, understanding of the people. Okay, how they are feeling. Are they being taken care of? Are they been evolving in terms of talent? Are they learning enough to get ready for your next work or a project? So it's all up to us. We are also hiring them, retaining them. So it's a lot of job to be done, which is not an easy task.
Right.
So yeah, that's how it all ended up. But for me, HR is definitely plays a very important role. Is a value creator. Is a somebody is building culture, which takes any organization to stand out in the industry.
So again, I can relate with the points that we discussed about the courage. So
Right.
even though you know everything, you
Correct.
have to have that courage also to
Talk about
speak
it.
about
Yes.
what we have been doing. It's not like we are, we know ourselves that okay, we are doing a number of things. We need to speak it out as well when the time
Absolutely.
comes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have come to the last segment of this podcast. It is about lessons learned, advice, and experience sharing. So I would like to know about what were the important lessons that you have learned so far in this career journey. So probably you would like to discuss them so that someone who is just starting a career, probably our viewers can learn from those experiences or those
Okay,
lessons
sure.
learned.
Sure. So as I mentioned in one of the questions, like don't look at HR as a HR in a business. Learn to be a businessman in the HR. So first thing I would like to tell you, tell the people who are starting the career in the HR is understand the business, what company you're into, how the company works, and where all you can partner the business as an HR business partnering, and where is your role comes as a HR. Have that curious attitude, whereas okay, how the problems are happening, how the issues are there, how I can keep evolving the people, the processes, the policies, stay updated in the industry, stay updated in the labor laws, how what are the things changing, what is even the minimum wages is something to start along with. So that keeps on changing. There are a lot of learnings on ESIC, PF, statutory compliances, taxes, all of those. Do not just limit your knowledge to HR.
Mm-hmm.
Go more on technology, go more on psychological things, psychometric tools. Understand how the technology works, how AI works. AI, before AI making us to work, let's make AI to work for us.
Great.
Okay, that is something going to help us if we are sticking human is something which is very different. Even if AI comes into picture, it is going to have some of the repetitive things at one point of time, but the human's mind has limitless boundaries in terms
Nothing
of
can replace
nothing
it.
can replace it. And I think it is up to us, how do I make use of HR. Wherever machine can do the work, let the machine do it.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever human is needed. So
we
I
should
think
spend our time on more productive things, more
Absolutely.
creative things,
More
which
creative.
probably AI can't do.
Absolutely. Something AI can do, let AI do. But then what is not taken over is the human presence. Okay, that is very important for HRs. And I think that is something that every generation should always keep up with. So yeah, that is one of the thing. The another thing I would like to tell you is have a very clear communication. Okay, second point is about the clear communication. Say what you want, say what you don't want, talk about it. I think it's very important to have that clear communication so that you've been heard and what you're doing. Another thing would be celebrate small wins. There are a lot of small appreciation makes a lot of big impact. So once you start getting into those kind of small appreciations to anybody, people around you, I think it will make a sense of good understanding, that making that bond. Okay, I'm doing something, I am really working towards it, and I'm doing something right. So that those things I would like to tell for somebody who is starting the journey.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will conclude this podcast with one recent trend discussion that our expert would speak about. So, any recent trend or concept or practice that you would like to speak about today?
Absolutely. So I have been into the VFX company, and it has been completely different in terms of the performance appraisal, in terms of the measuring the performances, the success, all of those. But when I joined in this industry, the IT industry, I've learned something new, which is all talks about OKR.
Okay.
So OKR is being like mainly the full form of is objective and key result areas.
Okay.
That's what it's meant for. So OKRs are something which is driving any organization with a very clear objective and the goals.
Okay.
So Google is one of the companies who has scaled effectively by using this method.
Okay.
They are the one who uses it. There's a most influential book on this, which is I'm reading currently by John Doerr, which is Major What Matters. This is the name of the book that you should go through to understand OKRs in detail. So I'll just give you brief about OKRs, how it works. So OKRs, first thing is objective, which talks about what I want to achieve. Okay. And goals, or the goals and the KRAs, it's all talks about how I am going to achieve those. So for example, if as an HR, if I have to come back with an example, it can be I have to build a high performing workforce probably in the next 6 months or a year. That is my objective. That is one of the part of the OKR. So if that objective is clear, then I have to, as a team or as a leader, I have to manage it in terms of cascading it in the different goals. One goal can be I have to turn down some of the low performing employees. 10-15% have to. So it is measurable. The goals are measurable. The objectives are not measurable.
Correct.
So the goal would be, okay, I have to turn down 10-15% of the low performing. Then my work again cascades to the third level of it, that I need to see and I need to identify the low performers. That all cascades like that. My second goal would be having the continuous learning programs. Okay, because if I'm building high performing, I want to build a high performing workforce, I need to have a continuous learning about the recent industry trends or the technologies that will help me to get through my objective. That also comes back with a percentage, which is again measurable, that 50% of my workforce has to go through it. Now if I cascade more to the departments, to the learning and development department, they will have to do the training need analysis first. They will have to see how the people are being placed, how the skill metric works, where all primary, secondary skills they hold, and how do I ensure that who needs which kind of training. That's going to be helping the business altogether.
Right.
So it cascades more down, to the team members. Third thing can be, of course, hiring the high performing people or good right attitude people with good experience or relevant experience. That can be third, and it again comes back with certain percentages, that I need to have 20% workforce joining in the next 3 months.
Right.
Or after I post. So it's very clear setting of the goals that comes with the OKR. So there are some tools, there are some companies also who just work on the OKRs. They build the complete system in your company to have this clear goals, something that helps you to achieve this, that needs a continuous feedback, continuous follow-up. There are going to be one or after quarterly basis, there can be some check-in onto it if it is happening that way or not. So that's how, if you do it rightly, you will be able to achieve what you're setting at the beginning of the year. So that's a small thing about OKR. It's actually a very big and vast subject to talk about, but yeah, with the time limit, I will just give you this idea.
So we got to know the basic concept.
Yeah, but you should definitely go to that influential book, which is Major What Matters.
Okay.
That will give you a complete idea about it.
Sure. Thank you for sharing, Priyanka.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we will have a short round of rapid fire questions.
Okay.
These are going to be just on a lighter note, so don't take it very seriously. It is just for the fun purpose.
Okay.
So Priyanka, what is more tedious, labor laws or reading employees' minds?
Oh my God. I think both.
Both.
But
you have to
moreover,
choose one.
moreover, I'll say reading the minds of the people.
That
You
is
can
more
still get
tedious.
something, to know about labor laws in black and white. You cannot get people's mind in black and white.
Okay. What is more difficult, calling employees for Fun Friday activity or calling candidates for interviews?
Calling employees for Fun Friday interviews, people will definitely come for.
Okay. And which department is more difficult to deal with? Is it admin or finance?
Finance, no doubt
No
about
doubt.
it.
Okay. And last question. During your early phase of career, what did you hate the most? Updating database in Excel or HRMS software, whatever you had, or printing appointment letters?
Printing the letters.
That was
Because that small alignments, I have always got it back. Okay, this is not aligned, this is bold, this the fonts are different, so all
Right.
of those tedious things been little difficult.
okay. So it was just for the fun purpose.
Sure.
So we would conclude today's podcast with such an amazing journey that we got to know about, and the inputs that you shared, the different concepts that you shared, the experiences that you shared were really awesome. Like we will get to know many things, and there is something that probably we could gather more knowledge about, and we would keep ourselves updated, Priyanka. So thank you for your time, energy, and enthusiasm that you got into this podcast today. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was wonderful pleasure connecting with all of you. As I said in the beginning, this is really wonderful idea. I wish you all the best for this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.